Welcome all, dear children. As in class 12th, we are doing the 5th chapter, that is surface chemistry, and in that we were covering the topic properties of colloidal solution. And in the part 1 of this topic's video, I have discussed about the 3 properties of colloidal solution. Now in this video I'll be discussing about the remaining 3 properties of colloidal solution. So children, the 4th property is Brownian movement, which is shown by colloidal particles. Now what happens children, we all know what is a colloidal solution, in which colloid sized particles are mixed in any dispersion medium. So children, when we look or when we view the colloidal solution, you will take the colloidal solution in a container. Okay, suppose this is the container, and in this container you have the colloidal solution, and you look into this solution with the help of ultra microscope. Okay, so when you look at this colloidal solution with the help of ultra microscope, what you see children, that the colloidal particles will be bombarding with the dispersion phase particles or with the dispersion medium. इसमें जो colloidal particles हैं वो dispersed medium है, जो कि किस में mix है, किसी भी liquid में, और वो liquid क्या है, dispersion medium. So you can see that these colloidal particles are moving around. So these small colloidal particles will be moving in a zigzag motion, and they are moving rapidly and randomly. And children, this movement of colloidal particles which is in zigzag, which appears to be zigzag and is rapid and random, this movement of colloidal particles is known as Brownian movement. This movement of colloidal particles is known as, children, it is known as Brownian movement. Now you can see these are the colloidal particles which are moving in a zigzag motion. Now children, question must be coming to your mind that why this kind of motion or movement is being observed. Generally what happens children, these colloidal particles will be bombarding or striking the dispersion medium particles or the dispersion medium molecules, जो liquid है जिसमें colloidal particles present हैं. तो ये colloidal particles उस liquid के molecules के साथ bombard करते हैं. Okay, and this motion of colloidal particles, children, is independent of the nature of colloidal particle. इनके ऊपर बिल्कुल भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि जो colloidal particle है उनका nature कैसा है. On what factor the Brownian movement depends? The Brownian movement depends upon the size of the particle and the viscosity of the solution. Children, we all know that the one who is lightweight can move easily. जो बहुत पतला इंसान होता है वो आराम से इधर उधर घूम सकता है. वहीं if we compare that with the fat person who is heavy, then he will face some kind of difficulty in moving. So generally who are light or who are small, they can move easily as compared to a big one. Okay, so in the same way, if the size of the colloidal particles is very small, then they can move easily, and they are moving in a liquid, okay, in dispersion medium. Now if the dispersion medium is thick, its viscosity will be very high. Now if the viscosity is high, then these colloidal particles won't be able to move properly. So the condition is that the size of the colloidal particle should be small and the viscosity of the solution should be less. Okay, so smaller the size of colloidal particle and lesser the viscosity, faster will be the movement. Okay children, so this is about this Brownian movement. And children, due to this Brownian movement only, these particles do not settle down and thus they move around, and when they move around they do not settle down, thus they make the colloidal solution stable. This Brownian movements led to the stability of colloidal solution. Okay children, so this is all about the Brownian movement. Next topic is children, electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. Now we all know children that every colloidal solution is made up of a colloidal particle, and that colloidal particle is having a fixed charge. Every colloidal particle is having it has a charge. The charge could be positive, the charge could be negative. So what happens children? This is the apparatus in which we carry out the process of electrophoresis. Now in this we have taken a tube, and in that we have placed two platinum electrodes. Okay, now these platinum electrodes are dipped in colloidal solution. This grey part children is the colloidal solution. Now this colloidal solution is charged. We know that every colloidal solution is having charge. It could be positive charge or it could be negative charge. Now here it is attached to a stopcock. We have placed two electrodes, anode and cathode. One is positively charged and one is negatively charged electrode. So when we pass electricity through this colloidal solution, what happens? The negatively charged sole, if the colloidal solution is negatively charged, such as As2S3, this is a sole which is negatively charged. So negatively charged sole will tend to move towards the positively charged electrode. Okay, so this movement of colloidal particles, these are the colloidal particles. When these colloidal particles move under the presence of electric field, okay, or move under applied electric potential, then that is known as electrophoresis. Okay, so movement of colloidal particles under electrical potential is known as electrophoresis. Now, why this occurs, movement of charge, why it occurs? Because this colloidal solution can be positively or can be negatively charged. जो colloidal solution है वो या तो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज होगा नेगेटिवली चार्ज होगा, जिसकी वजह से वो ऑपोजिट चार्ज की तरफ अट्रैक्ट होगा. वी नो दैट अनलाइक चार्जेस अट्रैक्ट ईच अदर. ओके माय डियर चिल्ड्रन, सो this movement occur due to the presence of positive or negative charge over the colloid. Now this is all about electrophoresis. So what is electrophoresis? It is a movement of particles is prevented by some, that is when electrophoresis, that is movement of particles, is prevented by some suitable means. It is seen that dispersion medium begins to move in an electric field. This phenomena is known as electroosmosis. Earlier I have told you what is electrophoresis children. I have given you the definition. Movement of colloidal particles under applied electric potential is called electrophoresis. Next term in this is electroosmosis. इसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम लोग जो ये मूव कर रहे हैं पार्टिकल, these particles which are moving, we prevent the flow or movement of these particles, okay, in the dispersion medium. And what we see is dispersion medium, the liquid in which these colloidal particles are mixed, that liquid begins to move. in the presence of electric field. This gray part is a dispersion medium, and these are the colloidal particles. These circles having the negative charge, these are the colloidal particles. So what we happen when we prevent the movement of colloidal particles and make the movement of this liquid, the dispersion medium, okay, in the presence of an electric field, then that process is known as electroosmosis. That process is known as electroosmosis. Okay, next topic is children, the next property is coagulation. Next topic is children, coagulation. Now what is coagulation children? कोएगुलेट हो जाना, ब्लड कोएगुलेट हो जाना, यानी प्रेसिपिटेट आउट हो जाना. नाउ व्हाट इज कोएगुलेशन? द स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ जनरली चिल्ड्रन जो लायोफोबिक सोल्स होते हैं, वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ सोल्स. आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, वन इज लायोफोबिक, अनदर वन इज लायोफिलिक सोल. नाउ द लायोफोबिक सोल्स आर स्टेबल. Why they are stable? Because soles, colloidal soles are generally stable because they have some charge over it. So generally in lyophobic soles, the colloidal particles have charge over them, children. But if we remove the charge of those colloidal particles, then what will happen? Those particles will lose their charge and they will come close to each other. When they come close to each other, they aggregate or they coagulate and they settle down under the force of gravity. And children, this process of settling of colloidal particles is known as coagulation or precipitation of soul. What I have told you, जो lyophobic soles होते हैं, they have some charge over them. But children, and it is due to the charge only is that they have stability. उसकी वजह से वो colloidal particles उसमें घूमते रहते हैं और जो सोल्यूशन होता है वो स्टेबल होता है. यू कैन नॉट मेक सेपरेट. आप ये नहीं बता सकते वो कोलाइडल पार्टिकल है और ये अलग से डिस्पर्शन मीडियम है. आपको पूरा का पूरा एक ही सोल्यूशन दिखाई देगा. बट व्हेन यू रिमूव द चार्ज ऑफ कोलाइडल पार्टिकल्स, व्हाट विल हैपन? दे विल कम क्लोजर. जो पार्टिकल्स हैं कोलाइड के, वो एक दूसरे के पास आ जाएंगे और नीचे आके इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे. तो जब वो एग्रीगेट फॉर्म कर लेते हैं, नीचे आके सेटल डाउन हो जाते हैं ग्रेविटी के अंडर, क्योंकि उनके ऊपर से चार्ज हटा दिया गया है, तो वो सब एक साथ आके नीचे सेटल हो जाते हैं. लिक्विड ऊपर रह गया, कोलाइड के पार्टिकल्स नीचे आ गए. देन दैट इज नोन एज प्रेसिपिटेशन और कोएगुलेशन ऑफ सोल. नाउ चिल्ड्रन, वी हैव डिफरेंट मेथड्स ऑफ कोएगुलेशन. Methods of coagulation. First is, we'll try to know about the coagulation of lyophobic soles. Now, how the coagulation of lyophobic soles is carried out? By adding electrolyte. Suppose the colloidal sole is positive in nature, and if I add excess of electrolyte, the colloidal sole is positive in nature, and if I add an electrolyte of ion of opposite charge, what I have told you, colloidal solution positively charged, and if I add electrolyte that will be of negatively charged, so that electrolyte will attract the colloidal particles, and due to opposite charge the charges gets neutralized. चार्ज जो होगा वो न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाएगा और उसकी वजह से कोएगुलेशन हो जाएगा. देखिए, colloidal sole was positively charged, you added excess of electrolyte that is negatively charged, so positive charged sole is attracted by negatively charged electrolyte, so वो दोनों पास में आ जाते हैं, इकट्ठे होके नीचे सेटल डाउन हो जाते हैं and coagulation occurs. Now the second way to cause coagulation of lyophobic sole is, children, by boiling. By boiling, what will happen? When you boil the colloidal solution, its kinetic energy increases. क्या होगा? जो कोलाइड के पार्टिकल्स हैं वो फटाफट मूव करने लग जाएंगे, and when they move faster, the kinetic energy generally increases. So what happens, children? This is the colloidal particle. We have an adsorbed layer over this, and when these particles move faster due to the raise in temperature, this adsorbed layer is removed. ये लेयर अपने आप रिमूव हो जाती है, ओके, या फिर ये लेयर डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है. जब ये एड्जॉर्ब्ड लेयर डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है तो जो इसके ऊपर चार्ज होता है वो भी कम हो जाता है, और जब चार्ज कम होगा तो क्या होगा, धीरे धीरे वो अपने आप नीचे सेटल डाउन हो जाएगी. सो चिल्ड्रन, व्हाट वी डू, व्हाट इज दिस इन दिस, व्हेन यू बॉयल अ कोलाइडल सॉल्यूशन, these particles will gain kinetic energy, they move faster, and the charge over the adsorbed layer gets disturbed or removed or become less. So finally they will settle down. Next one is children electrophoresis, the one that we have just done now only. So if we continue doing the process of electrophoresis, then what will happen children? What will happen? This, suppose negative charge, it will get attracted towards this positively charged, and all the negative charge will go there if it is carried for a long time, and it will settle. So all it will accumulate here, or will settle here, or will aggregate over here. So as a result of this colloidal solution will lose the charge and they will get coagulated. Now next is children, by persisting dialysis, अगर हम लगातार dialysis करते हैं for a long time, if we carry out dialysis for a long time, then you know children, dialysis, we have taken a cellophane membrane or parchment membrane bag and have placed it in a container having water, and we have carried out the process. Generally what happens in dialysis, electrolytes are being removed. Small traces of electrolytes are left in dialysis which are required for the stability. But when you carry out prolonged dialysis, then generally what happens? Those electrolytes which are needed for the stability of colloidal solution, even those small traces of electrolytes are being removed, as a result of which they become unstable and they will coagulate. अगर हम लंबे टाइम तक डायलिसिस करेंगे तो जो स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोलाइट प्रेजेंट थी किसी भी कोलाइडल सोल्यूशन में, जिसकी वजह से कोलाइडल सोल्यूशन वॉज स्टेबल, तो वो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के ट्रेसेस रिमूव होने की वजह से वो अपनी स्टेबिलिटी खो देगा एंड विल कोएगुलेट. नेक्स्ट इज बाय मिक्सिंग ऑपोजिटली चार्ज कोलाइड्स. अगर हम ऑपोजिटली चार्ज कोलाइड्स को मिक्स कर देते हैं. Now children, when colloidal particles of opposite, now what is this? By mixing oppositely charged colloids, suppose children, one colloid is positively charged and another one is negatively charged. Like if you mix hydrated ferric oxide, which is positively charged colloidal solution, with arsenious sulfide, which is negatively charged colloidal solution, if you mix these two, they both are oppositely charged and they will combine and will neutralize each other's charge and will partially or completely coagulate. So this is coagulating this and this one is coagulating this because they are opposite charge. So this type of coagulation is known as mutual coagulation. जो दोनों मिलकर कर रहे हैं, ये इसको coagulate कर रहा है और ये इसको coagulate करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. So this is known as mutual coagulation. Next is children, Hardy-Schulze rule. Very important from the point of your board exam. What does it state? This states that greater the valency of the flocculating ion added, greater is the precipitation. जितनी ज़्यादा वैलेंसी होगी जिस आयन को तुमने ऐड करा है उसकी, तो वो उतना ही ज़्यादा दूसरे आयन को फ्लॉक्यूलेट करेगा या उसे प्रेसिपिटेट आउट कर देगा. जैसे Al3 पॉजिटिव है तो ये ज़्यादा कोएगुलेशन करेगा बिकॉज इट हैज़ वैलेंसी 3 पॉजिटिव. Ba2 पॉजिटिव ये ज़्यादा कोएगुलेट करेगा Na पॉजिटिव की कंपैरिजन में, क्योंकि Na पॉजिटिव की वैलेंसी +1 है जो कि कम है Ba2 पॉजिटिव. इट मीन्स जिसके पास बड़ा चार्ज होगा, जिसकी ज़्यादा वैलेंसी होगी, उसकी फ्लॉक्यूलेट या कोएगुलेट करने की पावर उतनी ही ज़्यादा होगी. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट Hardy-Schulze rule state. In the same way for negatively charged ion children, here it is for this one 4 negative, for this one 3 negative, for this one 2 negative, for this one negative. So 4 is greater than 3, 3 is greater than 2, 2 is greater than 1. So the one with greater valency will cause more coagulation, or the coagulating power of the ion with greater valency is more. Okay, So this is all about Hardy-Schulze rule. So the one having greater valency will cause more coagulation or will have more coagulating power. Okay children. So the minimum concentration of an electrolyte, कितना minimum concentration किसी भी electrolyte का required है in millimoles per liter to cause a precipitation of sol in 2 hours is known as its coagulating value. कितना मिनिमम कंसंट्रेशन किसी भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का आप ले सकें मिलीमोल्स में, मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर में, वो मिनिमम कंसंट्रेशन किसी भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर में जो कि चाहिए किसी भी सोल का प्रेसिपिटेशन करने के लिए 2 hours में is known as its coagulating value. Now smaller the quantity required, higher will be the coagulating power of the ion. जितना ज़्यादा स्मॉल क्वांटिटी किसी भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का चाहिए होता है टू कॉज द कोएगुलेशन, उसकी उतनी ही ज़्यादा कोएगुलेटिंग पावर, जो जितना कम क्वांटिटी में यूज़ होकर कोएगुलेशन कर दे उसकी कोएगुलेटिंग पावर उतनी ही ज़्यादा होती है. So smaller the quantity required, higher will be its coagulating power. Now children, now next one is coagulation of lyophilic sols. When I talk about coagulation of lyophilic sols, we know that the stability of lyophilic sols depends on two factors, charge and solvation. One is charge, another one is solvation of colloidal particles. So children, when these two factors are being removed, then a lyophilic sol is coagulated. If you add an electrolyte to a lyophilic sol, it will be coagulated. Or if you add a suitable solvent to lyophilic sol, अगर आप एक suitable solvent किसी भी lyophilic solution में डालते हैं, for example, अगर आप hydrophilic sol को coagulate करना चाहते हैं, then you can add alcohol or acetone. Alcohol and acetone will cause the coagulation of hydrophilic sol. So by addition of suitable solvent, either alcohol or acetone, to hydrophilic sol, its coagulation can occur. Or you can add an electrolyte. So by adding electrolyte or by adding a suitable solvent to the lyophilic solution, you can cause the coagulation of lyophilic sol. So just hope this one is clear children. Thank you all and have a nice day.